Joining me on the program now, himself an art history scholar and founder of the organisation, the Chrysallis Seed, Peter Crothall. Kia ora, thank you for your time today.
Kia ora.
Hey, with art history now, I think we're both a little bit biased on this one, Peter. But why do you think that art history is an important topic? Why do you think it is important to have topics like art history as a part of curriculum?
I think it's really important, partly as part of the wider humanities. We live in an age in which a large number of humanities lecturers and subjects are being axed. So at Otago University, live in Dunedin, only a few years ago, that I believe 180 positions were axed from humanities. So we live in an age where there's a focus on what's practical, and in terms of university education and now into the secondary school system, there's a focus on technical skills, maths, engineering, health science, to the detriment of the humanities. So my
Yep.
question is, what's the use of being highly good at IT, humanity, and AI, and a great doctor if you don't have a wider view of the society and the physical and aesthetic world and environment we live in? They should be all integrated. So the biblical view talks about Jesus as being Lord over all.
Yep.
So in Colossians, we're told Jesus is in and over and through all things. We're told to pray the Lord's Prayer, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as in heaven. So I embrace the theology that we are to advance God's kingdom, his rule, his influence in every area of society. We are called to be working in the world of arts, well, not media so much, but contemporary arts, and to be encouraging and strengthening contemporary artists and having a relevant view in the arts world as one key critical area. We also live in the visual age.
Yep.
The age of the word has gone. That lasted 500 years. Now with digital technology, the very technology we're using this morning, I know this is radio, but is primarily visual.
Mm-hmm.
So to have a grounding in visual art history is one component of being prepared visually of the world that has gone before us, as well as the world. And so I graduated in art history and a BA at Canterbury,
Yep.
and I actually had the privilege to be in it the first year it was offered in 1974 as a new topic. So
Mm-hmm.
it is being weakened and axed at universities as well as high schools.
Actually, my lived experience, as I say, studied it at high school, loved it. Went on to study at Otago University and was doing a random collection of topics which included classical art history and commercial law. And honestly, classical art history, I thought, well, this is fascinating, but I'm not sure how practical it is. Commercial law was very practical, but extremely boring. So I kind of was caught between a rock and a hard place. Having said that, though, I've ended up in the media. And I think some of the skills that you acquire by subjects like art history and others in the humanities teach you critical thinking skills.
Precisely.
And honestly, if you look around at some of the polarization happening in our society, perhaps critical thinking should be a compulsory subject given the mess that we've got ourselves in.
And I totally concur and agree. And Christians need to be leading the way and thinking intelligently and thinking deeply and biblically, which means being well read into these issues. We don't throw our brains out just when we become Christians. So art history, as I was taught in high school. So I did a paper on the Bauhaus in the sixth form. And so the Bauhaus was the development of modernism and architecture. The most important part of art history, I view, the most practical part, is the study of architecture, which is part of the visual arts.
Yep.
Our built environment affects everything. So what the hospital looks like we might be working in, or university, or whatever. Aesthetics are a critical part of the world we engage in. Design is a critical part of the visual digital world we live in.
Yep.
So it's very practical. Things must be well designed to be considered at all in this world of short attention spans.
Peter, I do.
Art history addresses those issues.
It certainly does. Peter, I know for some people they would say, well, art history isn't being axed so much as it's been incorporated into fine arts courses at high school, but honestly, that wouldn't help the likes of me. I could not draw anything recognisable, but I loved art history. Yes, for some people, that combination of artistic ability and also art history and some of the cognitive skills that go with that, for some people they combine, for others they don't. So if you can't draw, you can't do art history, it seems.
Oh, no, that's a good point, which I entirely oppose and disagree with, which you'll be pleased to hear. Because art history is great because it can be for people who don't necessarily do art. I didn't go through art school, but I have actually married an artist, so
Okay.
it helps me understand her for one. It understands our history, our civilization. It helps people to appreciate the physical built environment we live in, like I said. It makes it accessible to a wider number of people beyond those who go through art school to appreciate the visual, to appreciate our environment that we live in, and to be able to analyse it.
Now, is this a done deal? Do you know? I mean, the government says, "Hey, we're axing this," and honestly, to be fair, the number of enrolments in this particular subject have been decreasing over the last few years. But unpopular doesn't mean unnecessary in this regard. Do you know? Is this a done deal by government, or if enough people like you and I? Yeah, if enough people like you and I say, yeah.
What I would say to that is that it shouldn't be compulsory.
No.
But it should be offered as an option for more than just fine art students.
And hey,
it's not there as an option. What's that saying about the importance of the aesthetic of design in our built environment, let alone the history that's produced us?
Yeah. No, such an important topic. Peter, we appreciate your analysis, appreciate your input on the program today. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.